us meet our amazing panelists. So today we have Amadi Chijundu. He's a senior product designer and he works at Clodit, yeah? And then we have Opeyemi Teminu. He's also a product designer, but he's now working as an accountant in Flutterwave. So we can see that these two people actually has the same niche. They did product design and they are working in different fields. So it does not necessarily mean because you're a designer, you have to be designing app for Facebook or whatever. You can work in different organizations, in different industries at a time. So this is Amadi Chijundu, okay? So this is like the storyline. Amadi Chijundu has been in this space for quite a while now. You can see that he has been a product designer for 5 years. So he has been working and, having experience in crafting, intuition, and impactful digital experiences for the past 5 years. So trust me, he has enough experience for him to come and dish out to us here today what he has been learning, what he has experienced for the past 5 years. So if I were you, I will get my notepads ready because he's going to dish out a lot to us today. So with a solid track record of leading design terms and delivering end-to-end design solutions, he also specializes in UI UX. That's it. That's the user experience and the user interface. Okay. So that's what he does. And he has also successfully transformed complex businesses needs into elegant interfaces for landing companies across Nigeria and the UK, the South African, Asia. You can see where he has worked. He has a lot of experiences that he can give to us here today. So just make sure you are listening to Amadi. Once he's done, you can ask your questions. Okay? So let's dive onto Opeyemi's story. Opeyemi is also a technical account manager. He also studied product design. Yes. So he's a creative problem solver and then technical account manager at Flutterwave. If you know Flutterwave, we all know that Flutterwave is not a small company, it's a big company. So, and he's one of Africa's leading fintech companies. That's what I said, yeah. He's a big company. So for him to be working in Flutterwave, he knows what he's doing and he has this ability to actually strive in that environment. YME sits at the intersection of product technology and business. So he has a lot of experiences in tech. I think he has done a lot of tech skills, but I think he learned from Utiva product design. Yeah. So this is to tell you that once you finish one program, you can actually go into another program. It's not written anywhere that it has to be just one program you learn. So if you want to expand more on your knowledge, you can go into other programs. Maybe you're done with product design, you can come back for product and digital marketing, product management, product, all of it so that you have all this experience and pack everything like that. Just jam pack it and then it will work perfectly for you. So with a background in engineering, product design, and user experience, Opeyemi brings a unique blend to technical know-how and business strategy to every conversation. So definitely with all the experiences he has, you can tell that he can actually tell you which tech skill is best for you. His journey is not even a small one. For him to have all these experiences, that means he has a lot of journey that he has gone through, and there are do's and don'ts that he is out here to tell you what and what not to do today. Okay. So mic check, Opeyemi and Radi, please let me know if you're on the call. I want to see your videos. Let me see you guys. Mic check, Opeyemi. Okay. Hi,
Hi, this is
Opeyemi.
Jessica from. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but your network, I guess, is
Okay.
skipping kind of. So, my check, Amadi,
It's
are you on the
skipping.
call?
Okay. Let me.
My check, Chijundu. Okay. Good morning. Thank you for joining this
Can
call.
you all hear me very well?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you so much. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you so much for joining this call today. It's amazing time, and I hope we're going to have fun today because we want to hear your story and everything, how it started with Utiva and all. So who likes to go first? Is it Opeyemi or Chijindu? Which of you would like to go first? Okay, I'll go alphabetically. Chijindu, can we have you?
I mean, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. So please, can you all confirm you can hear me clearly?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you, Chijindu. Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can
Okay.
hear everyone. I can hear everyone clearly.
All right.
Okay. To be honest, it's I'll just dive in really deep now and let's talk about my experience.
Okay.
So late 2016, we all started in late 2016. So I kind of found I was introduced to graphic design. So I started playing around graphic design. That was when I just recently came off NYC. So still playing around with graphic design, trying to learn. But at the time, there was no, I haven't come in contact with Utiva at the time. I didn't know what it was or who they were. So, I was just playing around. I spent all my alawi that I had saved up from NYC on data, trying to learn graphic design and all of that. So, I learned, just got a small job that I was working in. Then from there, my graphic design improved that I got into, and I got another company where I was working as a graphic designer as well. Then the company started to expand and needed to create a digital product, a digital solution, which they wanted to go into the market. Then I thought to myself, what they needed UI UX designer. It was an application, a fintech application that they wanted to develop. Um, yeah, so I looked, okay, how can I learn this? Yeah, I've got the graphic design skills, but how can I improve? How can I position myself well as, for what they wanted at the time? Then at the time, my boss mentioned to me, have you checked Utiva? I said, so when I checked out Utiva, I saw all the courses that they offered, which Lucy has already mentioned and walked us through. So I said, okay, yeah, product design is fine, you know. So I signed up for product design. Then I can't remember what it was called. Was it product design and marketing? I can't remember how it was coined at the time. So um, I signed up, registered, then came for the first class. It was physical. That was before the pandemic. So then it was physical. We came for the first class. I saw a lot of people, interesting people who were also interested in learning, learning one or two things, product design, building their careers, product management, and etc. So yeah, we started, learned a lot from Utiva. It was great. Um, so at Utiva, I was able to learn all those skills, all those things I needed to know when it comes to product design and designing for, a large market at that point. So for me, it was insightful. I went through all those product design processes with my teammates, or my group mates. Then we are put into groups, went through all of that, had tasks that we were um assigned to. Utiva brought in skilled professional tutors that took us from babies to teaching professionals, which was so important to me because I was able to learn a lot, even the nitty-gritties. And it was so open. It was an open session that you could cut in at any point if you had a question, ask the tutor, he would come back, So there was a lot of interaction between everyone. This is something now, this kind of um, product design, this kind of technical skills are, to be honest with you, not skills that you would say you would just do in isolation. You need to mix up with people, share experiences, share ideas, and people need to come together and discuss. It's a lot, it has to do a lot with collaboration. So there, Utiva made that space, made that collaborative space, made that space that we were able to share ideas and talk about things, you know, even in our group and also interact with other groups then. So we had a lot to do. Then we had to come up, we were given the final assignment, which we had to come up with a product that was actually solving a problem in the market at the time. So each group were assigned a particular topic. And we did this, then we did a very, very nice presentation. We were awarded our certificate. So from there, I had those tools, those skills in my pocket. Then, with the help of what I've learned from Utiva, I was able to jump from a 90,000 naira salary at the time to a 250,000 naira salary at the time. Just showing those skills that I've learned and putting them into my workflow. Then, um, after that, it wasn't so long. I was able to now jump from a 250,000 naira salary to a 750,000 naira salary within the space of 6 months, which was really huge. And all of this was because of most of the skills that I learned from Utiva. And it was a very, very solid background for me at the time. Definitely, of course, you would have to build, you have to learn more things because in the digital tech space, things evolve on a daily basis, things evolve quickly. So if you are not on your toes, you will miss out a lot. So having that solid background, having that information, having everything that I learned from Utiva helped me and made things easy for me to, go this far in my career. Then, obviously, after much improvements and all of that, I was able to land, series of gigs from outside the country in Saudi Asia and some parts of the UK as well, of course. So I would say if you are thinking of getting into the tech space, if you are thinking of learning one or two tech skills, if you are thinking of improving your knowledge about um, um, tech in general, say you're already in the field, but you want to improve your knowledge, I think Utiva will be the best place for you to go. Now, this is not a marketing. I'm not trying to market them. I'm talking based on experience, right? You'll be able to reach, and the most interesting part is you'll be able to reach out to someone at any time, at any point, if you need clarity, if you need um, help with anything. So to be honest with you, Utiva really, really helped me build that solid foundation across the board in my career, and it has brought me to where I am currently today. So, like I said earlier, wasn't really so much for me to talk about because if I start going in nitty-gritty, we are going to sleep here, and I know most of us we have other things that we are doing. So yeah, if you need to learn any of those skills, you reach out to YouTuber and try and find out what niche will be best for you. So yeah, that's my story in a nutshell. I'll hand over to you, Lucy, to continue. All right, thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Chijindo. Your story is kind of quite inspiring to start with because from NYSC and then you had to save up. And there are a lot of people back then that couldn't even save up because it was not much. Not like these people now that are collecting 77K. I know how
Mhm.
much they were paying then, and then you were able
Yes.
to actually save up that kind of money to come and learn something good for you. That's a thumbs up for you. Well done. Well done. So, Opeyemi, are you
Thank you.
here? Can we hear your story, how you started with Utiva? What was your mindset about these past things? Like, how did it happen, your first weeks, and how the whole program went for you?
Okay. Hi everyone. So For me, just like changing I would take it a step back before I joined Utiva. So, I think just after undergrad, um, I had an internship so I did engineering, but I've always been interested in, see, not just interested in my field, like I always had this curious nature. So one of the things as a product designer you need to do is just be curious. When you get a brief, don't just don't just jump to design. You have to be curious to ask the right question. So I've always been curious about things. So I was not just interested in engineering, basically. So just to confirm, can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Opeyemi.
Okay, thank you. So I had an internship at Stanbic, Stanbic IBTC. Okay, thank you. I had an internship at Stanbic IBTC. So I was in the HR, like I said, I tend to I'm always curious. So I was in the HR department, and we're doing onboarding for new hires. They're graduate training at the time, and so the product team came to like just present. Onboarding in companies, everybody in the company will come and present to new hires. So the product team came to present, and they talked about design thinking, shared really flashy stuff and all those things. This thing is interesting. So that was I think that was late 2019. So after the internship, I went for NYC. Then COVID happened in the middle of NYC. So COVID happened. So I had encountered design thinking and all the other things that they use in building their products in 2019, but I didn't have time to like go into them. So yeah, COVID happened and we had to switch to remote work. Then I was working in the telecom firm, so we had to switch to remote work, and I had more time. So it was a shift this thing. So I had more time. My off was okay. So when I finished my shift, I had my off time. I could just do other things. So I encountered I think a website. So I was just reading up on what UX design was. Um, so then I was interested. I was not really interested in the graphics part of things, the UI part of things. So I was just reading what UX was. Then I just came on LinkedIn, I think around maybe March of 2020. Then a a friend of mine, we went to OAU together, and we finished the same time. So he posted that he, I think either he posted that he just joined the Utiva, or he posted that he was finishing a course at Utiva. So that was March of 2020. So I just messaged him. Oh, hi Tunji, what's up? How you doing? Oh, I saw that you're learning this. Can you tell me more? I'm interested in learning this. I've done this, X, Y, Z. So he just said, oh, okay. I took a course at Utiva. I recommended Utiva. Great guy. So I think I messaged. I forgot. I think I messaged Utiva's LinkedIn. That's the LinkedIn page. That I'm interested in this course. Then I can't remember how it went. I got a follow up call. Then it was Ricky. Either a follow up call, a follow up mail. I can't remember actually, but I reached out. Then I got a follow up. Then we had to set up. So yeah, it was NYSC, but I was lucky that it was COVID, so I wasn't spending much on transport. So I was able to really save at that time. So I had to pay my. So I enrolled in April of 2020, and it was a wonderful class. So from the first day, I think in my own set we had two tutors. I can't remember the first guy that taught us, but the second guy, Toby Amoji, great guy. So our tutor was really great. Then we had that, I can't remember if it was three or four groups. We had four groups, and yeah. So I met, I think in the groups, I know someone before and Coin. She's now a product manager. Um, then met other people, great guys. So one thing I want to just say before I forget is that in in a court, not everyone is not everyone shows the same interest in the program. So people just you'll be amazed that someone just could pay for the program and not come to class throughout the program, and that's not the best approach to to learning something. So especially product design in tech, it's not just about the certificate. Yes, the certificate will show that you came and you learned, but it's more about you being present, you being an active learner. So yeah, I tried to attend all the classes. I took all the assignments. I think I was a group leader in my group. We built I think we are given a Z Crest case study. We had to build an app. So as they were teaching, so we got the case study like I think second class. I can't remember. It's been 5 years. So then as they taught us, maybe we did research today. They give you a research assignment. We already have the case study, so you have to conduct research. Where we did wireframing, we had to do the wireframing assignment on our case study. So it was like that. So we had what we could do. Then we got the slides were really comprehensive. Then we also got other material. And Toby was that's our tutor then. You could approach him anytime, you could send him a message anytime. It was really welcoming. And we also had classmates that were taking the program together. So it was really wonderful. Then finishing our program, we had a day where we had to pitch. Utiva invited yeah, a bit of industry experts, let me put it that way, senior colleagues in the industry. And we had to pitch to them. So we pitched to them, we tried our best. Then so another thing in product design, your first designs are usually shitty. Forgive my language, for lack of words. I thought they were great. Then Figma, the thing with Figma, I don't know if it still happens now, but you could go through your files, like Figma still you still have your files on Figma. And when I go through, I'm like, wow, they look very horrible. So, but then they look really great and all. But you get to improve based on based on how things are. I think then when I was learning, we didn't have things like auto layout, so you have to like really arrange your designs. Well, they were a bit manual then, but things have so you have to also learn the tools to as things go. So after that we graduated. Then I just had to okay, how do I proceed with my learning? I think around July. So I just had to. I was just thinking maybe one of my off days. Then I reached out to. So then I was still working with the telecom company. So I was doing shifts. Then I had some off days. Then I have some days. Yeah. So then I reached out to my classmates. I think I had some classmates that were building like like three guys that were doing startups there. So I just reached out to one of them. So I looked at their startups and oh, which is interesting. Oh, this guy, okay. I just reached out to one of them. Oh, come. So I pitched myself that oh, I've done this at Utiva. This is what I did as my project. Um, I'm really interested in your app. I think I could bring value to your team. So I pitched myself. It was just over a casual call, but yeah. So I told him that yeah, you don't need to worry about paying me and all those things. So yeah. So he said he'd get back to me. And I think within 2 days he got back and said yeah I could join the team. So that's Cloud Mall Africa, they're hyperlocal e-commerce platform. I think now they are currently based in Ibadan. Then they started out operations in Ife. So I was the first product designer. They had a they didn't have a designer when they designed. So and if you've been in tech, if you have a design when you design your app, it will be somehow. I don't want to. It will be somehow. So I had to jump on that. Like I had to do research from the beginning and whole research the whole thing, get to final design the app. So um, at Cloudmore, I designed like two versions of the user's app. So after NYC, I think NYC ended in November. Then okay, so I was out of job for NYC, so I just focused on Cloudmore, and I was like the sole designer. Then we're trying to raise funds, trying to move into newer markets. So I was basically the sole designer, designing everything, design the landing page, various things and all that. Yeah, I think we clocked maybe between 2,000 and 5,000 orders then using the app side design. So then after that, so I was working with CloudMore. Remember, I told them that you don't need to pay me, and also yeah, I was unpaid for that period. Then I think so. We're trying to raise an my friends, so I understood. So during that period, I was in between jobs, but still with Cloud. We're trying to get another job. So then had so let me backtrack a bit. So while in the program, you learn skills like empathy, like research, like how you can basically take the problems you ideation, take the problems you found in research into like creating solutions. So all those things, there were things that Cloudmore gave me the free way to do. So I was able to do those things and also um then I got a referral from a previous colleague to Flutterwave and all that. Oh, okay, there's this great guy. So shared my CV. I think what caught my boss's eye was my the diversity of my experience and all. Studied this, you've done HR, you've done this. Okay, let's come and hear you speak. So got to the interview and I think one of the things that caught a eye was how I was able to solve like a real problem we're facing at Cloudmore. I was able to solve it using basically the UX ideas that I had then. So it was about I think I've forgotten the particular problem, but I was able to solve it and explain to her my approach to problem solving because largely what I do today is problem solving and Flutterwave. So yes, to correct Lucy, I'm not an accountant. I'm a technical account manager. So I what I do at Flutterwave is to help enterprise clients. Those are clients that bring a large chunk of the revenue to help them ensure that they use Flutterwave services seamlessly. So clients in my portfolio would include Supercash, Bamboo, Rise, Great Tech. So these guys use Flutterwave, and I manage the technical relationship between Flutterwave and them. So in this role, I'm able to bring in my expertise as a product designer. So I'll just touch on how I'm able to use product design in my role. So my approach to problem solving, that's one. And in my role, we liaise with internal stakeholders, just like how Lucy was talking about when she was mentioning product management, that you relate with various stakeholders. So in my role, I relate with various stakeholders, including product managers. And one of the things that I know, like because of my background in product design, you cannot bring something shitty to me. I would kick back at it that no, do it this way and all these things. So that helps with my interaction and um with the level of things I was able to get from my merchant because we handle big ticket guys or um big money contributors. We're able to like move features. Okay, we want this feature and all these things. So I was able to drive those. So yeah, there was also a project we're working with for Lagos State government, and there was no, we didn't have product design team couldn't give us a resource to work on that, and I had to be like the product designer on that particular product. So it's one of the things, and we were able to deliver a wonderful experience um, for the product, which is one of the best, one of the main revenue collectors for Lagos State today. So yeah, that's my experience so far, and Utiva really did a lot in getting me to yeah where I am today, being that getting me in the door of my first tech job, which is my me being a product designer at Cloudmore. Yeah, and also taking some of those skills into problem solving that is currently helping me today. So yeah, um, that's all about that's my journey. I hope I didn't take a lot of time.
No, it's fine. It's very interesting. So I was just listening to it, how you were diving from one place to another, such a great strength. And it's interesting where you are right now, using all the skills you have learned to actually do a good one for yourself. So well done to both of you. And we can see that from the beginning, Utiva was in the story and has always been in the story. So I'll ask you, Chijundu. So during the course of your program with Utiva, what were like the difficult challenges you faced or something that actually popped this question into your head? You get to a space and you be like, are you sure I'm making the right decision? That actually made you doubt. Were there things that made it very difficult for you? What made it kind of not too easy for you as well that made you have any chance to doubt your decision? What were the things that were not okay for you during your learning process?
Okay, thank you very much, Lucy, for that question. Um, for me, I wouldn't say I had challenges at Utiva then. So let me backtrack a bit. Before I decided to join in, to undertake a course at particular course at Utiva, then I was trying to build myself from a graphic designer to a product designer, right? So I already knew or I already had an idea of how things worked in that space, but I needed some form of guidance, some form of structured learning for me to be able to put two and two together and say, okay, this is a flow in situations like this is what you do. So when I joined in on the Utiva course that I signed up for, I was like, okay, now this is how it worked, or this is how it works, you know. So if I would say I had a challenge at the point of me doing the Utiva course, it was in the process of our it was in the process of us carrying out the assignments that was given to us in a group, you know, because a lot of us in the group then they have a clue to um one particular aspect of what we are supposed to do. So it took us a lot of brainstorming. This led us to create a WhatsApp group out of Utiva for us to now discuss and brainstorm. We even had a meet session, just like not physical meet too, just like a video call or something for us to actually discuss on how to solve that problem, you know. So that was the main challenge there. And because of the collaboration, we were able to come up with an idea. And our presentation at the end of the course was one of the best, to be honest. So I would say that was the challenge I faced or we faced there. And what did that challenge help? How did that challenge help me? It helped me to understand better, all of those processes that went into product um, design. So yeah, it didn't just come out as, okay, you have to do this process. It made me to understand why we need to do that process and why that had to be done. And it also helped in building collaboration between each of us. And that pattern or that method is something I have, you know, used, not just what I learned, but also the collaboration across, across the board going forward in my career, working with different companies and with different people. Yeah. So yeah, that's I would say the challenge I faced and how we came about in solving it or in tackling it. Yeah. So that's pretty much it.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. So, Kwemi, would you like to share any challenges you had during your study with Utiva?
Okay, so the challenge I had, okay, so well, the challenge was with the UI because I didn't have, unlike changing room, I didn't have any background in graphic design. I didn't know anything about UI before I joined. So what I've been reading was, I think I read about design thinking. I read about UX design. So I was a bit familiar with that, but the UI, uh, but the thing is, whichever group us in, I think in my group were four. So there was a guy that had a good design background in my group. So he was the one who, okay, that kind of like assisted me in putting me through because we had to we would yeah we created the WhatsApp group for just to also brainstorm and would have calls, WhatsApp calls on Meet to just understand the assignment. So in the part of the assignment where we're dealing the UX part of things, say the research, the wireframing, the ideation, and all those things, I was superb. I didn't have issues with those places. But when it was to transfer them into UI, I think that was where I had issues, and I had to watch YouTube videos. And also, yeah, the I think his name is Favor. would get on calls and people would, okay, this is how you do this, is how you do this. It was there to also guide me through those parts. So I was able to pick up on it. So we would share the UI screens. Okay, oh, you take this, and all those things. So after I designed mine, I was also, okay, is it good enough? Do you think I should change anything? So it was there to like support in those areas. So I think, I don't know if I answered all your question.
All right, that's good. That's fine. So, Chidimdu, I want to ask you this one. So, during the process of you trying to, getting your findings about which school or which institution to learn these things, were there these particular skills that you have that you think you should let beginners know that, okay, these skills you should focus on when starting as a product designer? What kind of skills do you think the person should have? Is there a particular skill you think
Oh,
the person should have when they want to, start up with product design?
absolutely. Um, for me, I was fortunate to have a background in graphic design, right? And um, one other, like just like Okoyemi mentioned, there was a little challenge he had, which had to do with the UI part. Now, one other, that's just one. Then the second one would be to have an open mind so that you'll be able to think like a product designer. That's where the product thinking aspect comes in play, you know. So one skill or two skills rather, I would say that you should try to familiarize yourself with when going for a course, maybe a product design course, is um, try and get familiar with applications you use on your phone. All of us, we have smartphones, the Apple, just try and, you know, get intrigued by the applications using your phone, you know. Then another thing is the product thinking. That is very, very important. And Utiva made it, my course at Utiva made that part, product thinking, very clear, from the user research part, the user interviews, all through the point where we had to do some form of UI design. So product thinking is very, very important. And with product thinking, that would help you build yourself as a UX designer or UX researcher. Because if you are good at UI, but your UX is struggling, you might have some problems, to be honest with you. So that product thinking that helps you build UX is great. Now, those are the things that I considered. Okay, so which school, which um, course would give me all of this that I was thinking about? Of course, I had a bit, but definitely we all strive to refine, to build ourselves, to better ourselves. So I thought, okay, research, of course. Most of the things that are popping up to me were courses from the US and foreign courses, which are calling huge amounts of money in dollars at the time. So, like I said earlier, one of my bosses at where I worked at the time told me, have I seen Utiva? That Utiva offers this course, and this and that. I said, okay, I was going to look into it. So when I got on the Utiva website, checked, I saw, okay, this is what I needed: product thinking, product design, etc. So I signed up for the course, and ever since I signed up for the course, things went smoothly, and that was history. So if you know what you want to do, you know would help you progress. Then you look for, if you want to go on and learn from a school like Utiva, you check in, okay, what courses do they offer that could benefit me? then you can reach out. There's no harm in asking questions, right? And they would be able to point you in the right direction to help you find that positioning you need to say, okay, this is what I want. So, I mean, pretty much it. I would say, yeah, if you just need that, make sure you ask questions, know what you want first before diving into making research. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's pretty much it.
All right. Thank you for that. So, Okoyemi, I don't know if you have a contrary opinion to what Chijindu have said. If you think there's
No,
this,
no, no.
important skills one should have before diving into product design.
No, 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 no.
Okay. Okay.
Well, contrary skill. So, for me, I would just share. So, I think what you just need to have is curiosity. You just need to be curious, like, what, why is this thing here? So, it speaks to you being familiar with the apps you use. Don't just use the app. Like, why did they make this thing here? Why did they put it here? Why not here? So, that is something you need to have. Maybe not before, even if you don't have it before, but as you are thinking of product design, it's something you need to have. Not just um, the login button is usually here, top left. No, why is it on top left and how? Why is it not on the navigation bar at the bottom? So you need to be curious. Then I think when you're coming, you need to be like an active learner.
Okay.
Like don't just be in the class and not be the one talking. Like it's not university. No lecturer would I don't know would say some things at you. But yeah, in my this thing, and I think that's what still happens till now. Everyone is welcoming when you ask questions in class. So also get familiar with the have to use, just like Chijindo mentioned. Know why they do some of the things they do. You can review some of the apps. Say you used to have pinpoint. So I think so during my own time, GT have this new app. So the whole app had lots of issues. So it's one of the things that we used to. So we just pick the GT app and just review and all this. So everyday apps that you use, say you have pinpoints there, rather than just complain, you can just pick the app, what you've learned in class. Now speaking to you in the program, what you've learned in class, you can just to the apply them to solve that problem for you, and that's how you develop things you have, like what they've taught you in class. That's how you develop them. Yeah, I think that's just what I would say you should have coming into the program and in the program as well.
Okay. All right. So, Chidimdu, being the fact that you have learned from Utiva, you were okay with the whole learning. What was your first, design role after Utiva? What was the first job you landed, and how did you land that opportunity? Do you mind to share?
Okay. So my first role after Utiva was actually a referral. So at the time, like I said, I was working at a particular company, and they were trying to build a fintech application at the time, a digital banking app. Then I, I took up the role, but I wanted to learn more. I wanted to know the processes of being a product designer, what I needed to do. I just wanted to learn everything that concerns product design. That was how I got to find out, my boss recommended Utiva, learned the course and all of that. So during the design process there, I worked with a couple of people from different places. Um, so there was this guy that I met that he did a job for the company at the time, So we got talking and he was like, okay, I see your designs are great, your thought process is great. Did you learn on your own? I said, most of it are things that I learned on my own. But for me to, refine my process on my thought process, designs and all of that, I had to take a course at Utiva. Yes, he was like, "Oh, I've heard Utiva before. He thinks they are pretty good." So he told me if I was, you know, interested in some other kind of gigs. At the time it was just gigs. I told him, of course, I was interested. So we did a couple of gigs together, and that was it. So after some time, I didn't really hear from him. Then one day he just popped up on WhatsApp. I was like, are you up for um a job that there's this company where he has done stuff or they are looking for a product designer, and he knows that I have the skill, to fill in that role which they were looking for. He now said, I told him yes, of course, I was interested. That was how I got my first gig after Utiva, and how or what made me get first gig was because if I hadn't learned, taking that course at Utiva to refine my skill and all of that, he wouldn't be impressed at the time of my thought process, of how I handled things, what I did, when I was working on that project. So he wouldn't be impressed. And like I said earlier, it really shapes the way I work even till date. So that was how I got it. And that role, took me from a 90,000 naira salary at the time to a 250,000 naira salary, which was, at the time it was huge for me, So that was how, Utiva helped me to land that first role after taking the course.
Okay, thank you. So referral was like a kind of a strong tool for you. Like if not that referral, you wouldn't have gotten it so easy. That's nice.
Yes.
Kudos to your friend. I want to thank him on your behalf for always referring you and for referring you for that particular job. So it's a good one. So, Opeyemi, would you like to share with us your first experience as a product designer? Like, what role did you do, or what did you do first after Utiva training? What was your first job? How was it like?
Okay, so after Utiva, I think I mentioned before, I'll just go over it again. So after Utiva, I just looked, so I needed a place to just refine my skills and really hone my skills. So I just looked in, like, within my classmates. We had, I think, about three building startups then. We had we had a vibrant startup culture at OU. So I had like three guys in startups. So I just looked at their startups, that which of these guys would I want to work with. So, and I found Cloudmore. I reached out to, I think, Samson is the CEO. So I reached out to Samson and was like, "Oh, hi." I think I reached out to the one of my classmates that was, I think he's their CEO. "Oh, I would like to work with you guys." So he referred me to Samson. Samson was the head of product, and I spoke with Samson, and we okay, yeah, I attended Utiva. I did this training. This is what I did. I shared my project with him, and it was like, "Oh, cool, that he has head of Utiva." And also, yeah, that was how I got my first role, and I was given the I was given the opportunity to really expand my skills, because I got to apply everything I learned. It was a startup, and I was not being paid, so the whole user research and all those things I applied, solve real life problems and all those things, which helped me refine my problem solving skills. Not just converting things to UI, but seeing how we solved problems, even problems regarding operations. I'll just get a call from Samsung that, okay, how do we do this and all those things, and I'll bring in those UX skills into helping the organization. So that just broadened how I thought about things. So in the course of while at Cloud9, I also got various gigs and go, and yeah, um I just referred them to some of the cloud more stuff that I did and all, so um that helped me. So yeah, that was my first job out of this thing. Then subsequent experiences built on that.
Okay. All right, that's nice. So, Chidundu, being an experienced product designer, what will you say, or which tool will you say is the most important when it comes to tools in product design? Which tool do you think is very important and it's like, if you don't do this tool, you're not a product designer? That's very important too. Which tool would you call that? And why? Why are you choosing that?
Okay, so for me, I would say the most important tool would be your brain and
Okay.
a pen and a paper.
Okay.
Every other digital tool has every other tool, let me say in the digital space, they all have options, you know. So as a product designer, those tools you would need to build strongly, first of all, would be, you know, try to familiarize yourself very well with the whole design processes, problem solving, just like Wayemi said, know what methods to use at different instances. Take, for instance, you are brought to the challenge that you want to solve an existing application. And let me say, Lucy, you have a product and it's not doing well in the market at the moment. Then you think to yourself, oh, what can I do? How can I solve? How can I make this product go well? How can I improve my business? Then you go to someone like Oyemi and he now thinks about, okay, ask you, what problems are you facing? What are all of those things? Then let me see, you say, okay, you're not having engagements on your website, your app, all of that. Then, of course, he's not just going to jump into Figma and start doing one or two things. He's going to try to go find out the root cause of that problem you're having. Now, he would have to do some research, some UX research as to why you're having those issues. You know, he would have to think, he would have to jot down a lot of things. He would have to interact with people that use your product, your users. He would have to, you know, listen to what they are saying, look at how they feel when saying what they are saying, look at what they do, their emotions, the way they react when using your product. Then with all of that information he's gotten from those users, he can now deduce, okay, what the problem might be before he even now starts saying, okay, I'm going into maybe digital tool or the so your brain developing all of that skill, problem solving skill, and your pen and paper to take things down, to jot things down, to observe, you know, for me, it's the main thing. When you have all of this, you can now go into, get on your computer and pick a tool. Now, of course, the standard tool for product designers at the moment is Figma. But when I started learning, um, I jumped on courses that used Photoshop to do product design. And when I, started getting my feet strong in product design, the tool then was Adobe XD. It was the gold standard, the product standard there. So all of those digital tools, they don't define you at all. They don't define you. I see some people saying, oh, Figma, you learn Figma. No, you learn design, not Figma. So if you find yourself in a different tool, there are some companies that till today, they still stick with some other tools like Sketch, which is the OG of anything product design, UI design. Some companies still stick with that because they feel it's better for their workflow. And you as a product designer that has been on Figma, when you come in, you have to adapt. They are practically the same thing, just UI is different and things are placed differently, but they all do the same thing, you know. So, like I said, for me, your brain, pen and paper, those are the most important tools you need to know. And you need to be a good listener. You need to listen well. You need to observe well. Now, what people say is different from what they do. I can tell you this, my body language is saying otherwise. I can tell you, oh, let me say, your products, when you start working on your products, you ask people, is this something you like to use? People say, oh, it's something I'd like to use. It's going to solve me this problem. At the end of the day, when that product comes out, those same people are not using it because it's not solving their problems. So you need to develop that problem-solving skill, that um, note-taking skill, that research and refinement skill, so that when you put all of this together, you can now say, okay, I've gotten a lot of data, I've got enough information, I've gotten everything that I need to solve this problem. Now, how can I implement this solution into a digital space that can help these people from the comfort of their homes, sitting on their couch, crossing their legs, and making those things, those life-changing decisions on their phone with the app that you've created that's helped them to solve those problems. Yeah, so that's it. Just basically, your brain and a pen, piece of paper. Yeah, that's it for me.
Wow. Oh, that's nice. I was actually expecting to hear one big, digital tool, but come to think of it, the pen, the brain and everything, I think that's like the whole highlight of it. So if you are more inquisitive, you can even design things that are even imaginary to you, and then you bring them to reality. So that's great. That's a good one. So guys, if you're on this call and you have questions for, Chijindu and Opeyemi, please let's go to the chat box and drop our questions, so they will be welcome to answer any questions. Okay, please let's go to the chat box and drop our questions, because I'm sure we all have one or two questions we want to have ask our guests here today, and they are here to also answer. They're here to answer our questions. So if you have any question, go to the chat box and drop it, and I'll read it out for them to, answer the questions. So I'll ask you, Opeyemi. So looking at the younger guys that are coming up, they want to jump into tech. What do you think advice you have to tell them to ease their journey during this process, either in any other field of tech they want to learn? Might not necessarily be design. They might want to dive into, other field and not necessarily design. So what's your advice for them? What do you have to tell them? There are people that wants to, dive into this space. What do you have to tell them?
Okay, thank you for the question.
Okay.
So what I'll tell you is, I think be ready to put in a lot of hard work. I think that's one. Then I would also say about so ready to is it so when you see people so I don't really follow design Twitter like that again, but back then when you see a lot of people doing a lot of stuff, so I just got a gig of 1K USD and all those things. So it took people years to get there. So if you're just entering the space and you're not achieving the results they're achieving, um, don't don't waver or don't feel bad because it took them here. So for example, let me use Chinjendu. You you just hear that, oh, okay, after Utiva, the first job he got was a 250K role. But then we're not having the previous context that he has been a graphic designer for a while, and he has learned because the principles of UI designs and graphic design, they are similar and all those things. So he has been in the space for a period of time. So you don't know the backstory and the context. So various people have various contexts in tech. So you have to just put your heads down, focus, and do a lot of work. And there are sometimes that some people are just outliers. So if there's someone for mathematics and engineering students, there's something called the bell curve, where there's a term. So it's like how things would happen normally, any space you find yourself. So there are some 10% that are outliers, while the general norm is like the 80%. So the general curve, there are some people that you do the same class together and they will just go off like boom. Maybe the first job they get is a 1K USD job and all. So those are outliers. It's not the norm. Chiniju is here when it's not the norm. So they are outliers. It happens. I would not say it doesn't happen. It happens, but it's not the norm. So don't use that as a yardstick for yourself. Take it a step back. If your first design job is 100K, you go from 100K to 250 to a 500 to 750 to 1. So it's the most times it is the gradual step and all, not the from zero to like 1K, 1.5 USD. It happens, but not all the time. So that's what I would just say. And yeah, be curious. Tech is evolving, it's changing. Figma we was 5 years ago, it's not Figma now. Um, Now there's advent of AI, so there are some things you need to sit down for hours to do. But now you could go buy something with AI and all those things. So just be curious to keep evolving, learning. Product design is a space, even tech generally is a space that you just have to keep learning all the time. I think you just have to be open to that. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Opemi. I don't know. We have a question in the chat box. Someone is asking. So my queen said, what are the major myths of tech generally, and what do you think should be the right mindset? Who wants to answer that? Opemi or Chidendo? Who wants to answer that?
Let me allow Chinun to take that since I answered the last question.
Okay.
I actually wanted to leave for Koyemi, but it's all right. So, if I am to get this question clearly, I don't know if Mary Queen can explain when she says major myths of tech. Um, but if I were to talk about the mindset, you know, I would say keep an open mind and always have it that things evolve in the tech space, things evolve quickly. You might sleep this evening or this night and wake up tomorrow and some tech thing that you've been thinking about has totally changed. I could remember just a few years ago. I mean, I wouldn't say it's up to 3 years. We were having the buzz of AR, VR, augmented reality, visual reality, the Apple Vision Pro headsets, Facebook Meta headsets, and all of the likes. And a lot of people, a lot of designers, a lot of developers were trying to jump on that space, you know. But all of a sudden, everything moved to AI. We need to twinkle of an eye, and everyone is talking about AI this, AI that, AI this, AI that. You know, the AI chatbot space is exploding crazily. You have ChatGPT. ChatGPT has advanced really well. Then over the night, you see another, you know, AI chat stuff like DeepSeek busting out of these things with 2x the ability of ChatGPT. And you ask yourself, okay, so what's happening? Am I being left out? Then the next thing so just have an open mindset, right? Have an open mindset. You can't, to be honest with you, you can't keep up with all of the things that are happening in the tech space. You just need to find your niche, which you are interested in, and try to follow as closely as possible. Now, bringing it back to the product design space, I can remember, was it last year? We had this type of design burst onto the scene. They call it brutalism, they call it neo-brutalism, they call skeuomorphism, etc. But all of that are just design patterns, design trends. But if you look at applications you use day to day that are being used by millions, hundreds of millions, billions of people across the globe, you would notice that those design trends that are hitting the space are not being used there. That's because most of those design trends don't meet some certain requirements and some certain accessibility issues that people have or people need. That's why maybe as a product design in the space, you see where they are saying about the portal, but you come on Facebook, and Facebook with the legion of designers and legion of product engineers and everything that they still have that simple interface which you've been used to for over a couple of years. It has just been modified to solve some problems and all of that. Yeah, so keep an open mind, but always look for what is real in the space. So that's I hope that answered the mindset part of that question. So if you could throw more light on major myths of tech, I would really appreciate it. I mean, that would help me answer the question better.
Okay, thank you so much, Ijundu. Mary Queen, I hope that answers the question. So for my final questions for my panelists, I would ask this one so anybody can answer. So what really excites you in the industry the most, like with the future of product design? And where is the industry heading? Like if someone asks you where is design heading to? Like what's the future with design? Where is it heading? So with all this AI and all coming, is design going to die? What's going to happen to design? So what's the future with design?
Okay, let me go on. You can
Oh,
answer this.
Okay, I think Chidindu wanted to speak.
no, he
So
wanted to call you.
Yeah, I wanted
okay,
to call
wanted to
you,
call me.
Okoyemi. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, sorry. Yeah, so with the advent of AI, yes, so you just have to be knowledgeable about AI tools, know what is obtainable, know what AI can do, know the AI tools. So if you're able to mix images with if you're able to say okay, I would give an example back then. So to remove background, so just knowing the tools. So removing background sometimes before it used to be okay, you take the image to like Photoshop, then you carefully like pencil, you crop those things out. But there are tools that could you just need to throw the image there and they remove the background. So you need to know the tools, what AI can do. That's one. Then the part that AI can do, which is the part of you, which Chinedu talked about, your brain, your pen and paper. So you need to give, even if you are using AI to do something, also achieve some things in your design part. But then the part of you solving problems, AI can't do that. There's the fear that AI might take our jobs and all those things. The part of thinking where you're solving the real life problems, e.g., generating increasing retention on the website, increasing sales for businesses using design, converting your those business problems. You need to be able to do the research, interpret those things, and also AI can do that. But it just needs to know the AI tools to get you to your final result. What AI can do. So that what AI can do, you're not really spending 6 hours to do when there's an AI tool that can do. So focus on what AI can do and the part of the solving the complex problems into user interfaces. And it applies as not just product design, it applies across tech.
Yeah.
Um, is it a case of I'll just give an example of how AI has really entered the space. Say you want to send an email and all these things. You shouldn't be caught having errors in your email. Like, it's basically, you could throw it into ChatGPT to make things better for you. So just know what AI can do for you, and just focus on doing the part AI can do. So I think with that, you'll really be stellar, because AI will really refine things for you and give you good results, and you do the part that AI can do, and you would achieve good results that way.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Opeyemi, and thank you, Chijindu. So, guys, please, I want you to give Opeyemi and Chijindu a big thumbs up. Like, if possible, give them a drum roll. Go to the chat box and tell them thank you for such an amazing session. I really enjoyed my time here. I don't know about you, because I had a lot of stuffs that I've not heard before, and many people will go into the tech space because of passion, because of this, because of that, but their story was quite touching and it was inspiring. I don't know if you agree with me. Please go to the chat box and let's thank this fantastic guest of ours, because they have done so much to this session. And thank you for choosing Utiva to learn with, because we are so proud to have you as our alumni, because you are doing absolutely well in the tech space, and we are proud of you. Utiva is super, super proud of you. Thank you for coming through for us today, and I hope we look forward, if possible, we'll call you in the future. Please don't reject us. We'll always come back for you. So please don't reject us. You always want to hear your story, where you're going, how far you've gone. So it's be like an inspiration to those that are coming up, so that they know what to do and what not to do, so they don't make mistakes that probably people have made in the past. So thank you so much for such an amazing session. Thank you. And if you don't mind, I would like to give you back your Saturday, because it's a weekend, guys. You need to relax. In as much as we do 247 jobs, come on, you need to relax and go for that wonderful one that you might want to go to and have fun. Thank you for joining the session. We really, really appreciate. Thank you so much. Guys, thank you for thanking them. For those of you that have not thanked them, I don't know what you're waiting for. Probably you didn't enjoy this session. I don't know, because I actually enjoyed this session. And if you were left to me, I wouldn't even want them to stop. Okay, so now you've seen a lot of these things, and my colleagues will actually be dropping some form in the chat box, so you can speak to any of us. If you want us to get started in this tech space, it's just a message away. Just send us a message. So someone will be dropping a link on the chat box, so you can reach out to us whichever way you want to reach out to us. So just click on the link and then someone will respond to you. Thank you, Eniola, for thanking them. Thank you so much. So I'll proceed by telling you more about Utiva. So this is how our program flow at Utiva is. Okay, we have hands-on training where you're not just learning theoretical. We have a lot of practicals that you have to do, and we have life coaches that are coaching you. It's not like people that just learned this thing. They are industry experts. They are currently working with industries, and they have the experience to actually dish out to you, and they are like the best hands you can think of when you're going into tech, so you are safe with our coaches, and they are wonderful people. If you want to know, they are wonderful people. You can hear the story of Opeyemi and Chidindu. They had wonderful trainers, and you will not be left out. You are not going to experience anything less. Then we have portfolio building and support. Yes, while you're learning, you're working on, life projects. You are building your projects while you are learning at Utiva. You're building your portfolio while learning at Utiva, because you're working on life projects, hands-on training, hands-on project, like a life capstone project that you'll be working on, just to make sure your portfolio is solid after you're done with your programs. So this time we have even done a lot of stuff by adding internship to our trainings and all that. So I'm sure during Chidindu's time, there was no internship, yeah? So there's an improvement with Utiva now. We now have internship. So you see, these people are going to enjoy more, if you ask me. They're actually going to enjoy more. So it's not something you like to live on. So how will you learn? This is how we learn. Our learning is hybrid. It's an hybrid mode of learning where you are learning during the week at your own self-pace through your dashboard. Then you have a live class that holds every Saturday or Sunday, depending on the program you're going for just 2 to 3 hours max. You'll be learning with a life coach that will be coaching you through your program. So the classes are weekend, like I say, classes are pre-recorded in case you have any issue not joining the class during the weekend. But we don't advise you not to join because it's like a live class where you can ask questions. So it's the only opportunity you have to be one-on-one with your fellow students and your supervisors, your instructors, your CS person on the team. So it's the time you have so you can actually, make sure you don't miss the classes. But if peradventure circumstances come up, you miss the class, don't worry, it will be recorded and it will be available on your dashboard. Then projects and assignments, like I said earlier, you'll be working on projects, capstone projects. They are life projects, okay? They are projects that are real life experiences. They will bring it for you to work on so that you have this experience about it. Then the Utiva community, after your learning program has ended, you have this community where we add you to because of networking and also for job posting. We support our students by posting jobs that are related to what you study. So you can apply that as a way of supporting you also to secure a good job. Yeah. So guys, if you know you have not kickstart your journey with Utiva, I think now is the best time. Don't know what you're waiting for. These are the supports we give to you. Like I said earlier, a community where you join to, you know, interact with people and then network and all. If you hear the story of Chidindu and Opeyemi, there's a lot of referrals. If they don't know people, they won't even refer them. So trust me, you have to network. Once you are done with learning, you don't just sit in the comfort of your home. You have to network, you have to go out, join communities, do voluntary jobs. It's not necessarily you finish and you start earning indoors, like they said. It's not even possible all the time. It's not like it's not possible, it's very rare. You have to start from somewhere. People earning indoors in thousands indoors have started for a long time. It's not like they've been in this space for quite a number of years. So you don't just jump out like some of you will say. So if I finish now, start earning $2,000. I can't say that. You can hear from people that have done this thing life with us. It's a journey that you have to be patient with. So it's not something that you just jump into and then you start earning like that. So it's a journey. You have to be patient. You have to follow its suit and all. Then there's a LinkedIn optimization session. So while you're learning with us, there's a session where you'll be taught on how to optimize your LinkedIn account in case of future preferences if you want to, apply for jobs and all. Your LinkedIn profile stands out and employers can actually look out for you without you even reaching out to them. So they can use it to trace you and see all the things you are doing. So another encouragement you have is while you're working on those capstone projects, make sure you're posting them on your LinkedIn and make noise about yourself. Show yourself this is what you do, this is what you are doing. So people should know what you are doing. So don't keep quiet. Make noise about what you are doing. Make noise about yourself and then put yourself out there. No one will do it for you. You only have to put out yourself by yourself. Okay, so CV review and oral. So we also teach you how to revamp your CV and all. We also give recommendation letters and reference letters and all of it. So those are the benefits you get after studying with us at Utiva. Then we have a US and the UK global accredited, certificate. You study with us, don't say, oh, my certificate is restricted. No, you can study in over 90 cities, over 90 countries of this world. You can use our certificate there wherever you are to work. Okay, so you are covered. You are very covered. So this is it. Thank you so much, guys, for joining the session. Thank you.